I'm Ryan from ExtremeTerrain.com, and this is my review of the Bushwacker Pocket Flair Kit fitting all 2007 to 2016 JKUs. There's a kit available for both the front and for the rear of the Jeep. The rear is body style specific, so you want to make sure you get the right one for your 2-door or 4-door, but the fronts will fit either body style. These are going to be wider than your factory flares, but there's also a factory width set available, so you have an option for whatever you want for your Jeep. These flares are for those of you who like a pocket style flare with a rivet and don't need or want to open up the wheel wells with a flat style flare. These will provide more coverage than your factory flares, which will help to keep junk from being thrown up on the side of the Jeep from a big wide tire. Now, Bushwacker is known for making a top quality flare, and they are more expensive than some of the other flares on the market, but you do get a top quality product as well, so it comes down to what you want for your Jeep. Like I mentioned before, these are going to be wider than your factory flares, and these provide a total of 11 3/4 inches of tire coverage up front, which should be more than enough no matter what size tire you're running. These are built of a material that's similar to the factory OE fender flares. It's a Dura-Flex plastic, so it can bend without breaking, and it's UV resistant, so it won't fade on you over time. These come with a stainless steel rivet, which means they're not going to rust over time, and they're going to continue to look good as long as you have them installed on the Jeep. Now, the rivets that come with these are real rivets. A lot of the less expensive flares will have a fake plastic rivet. I much prefer this, but again, it's something that you end up paying for. Bushwacker really likes to do their fender flares in a two-piece system. So there's this inner fender flare that will attach directly to the body, and then the outer flare that attaches to the inner. The inner flare comes with the 3M tape that's needed to attach it to the vehicle. However, it also bolts onto your fender, and everything comes with weather stripping, so you get a nice, clean, finished look. Something else I really like about these flares is that they're designed to work with your factory inner fender liners. This will help to keep junk and mud out of the engine bay, and also doesn't require you to buy additional pieces. You will have to do some cutting and some trimming to your factory inners to make them work with this setup, as well as to your fender supports and your marker light. But again, being able to reuse the factory marker light saves you money and time. You don't have to go out and buy a new light, and these are all things that I like about this system. Getting these installed on your Jeep is a little bit of a process because they are a two-piece flare and there is some trimming and cutting necessary, but it's certainly not difficult. And all the trimming and cutting that you do is into your inner fender liners or fender support or around your turn signal, and not into the body of the Jeep. So to get these installed, the first step is to remove the bolts that hold the factory fenders into place. There are a few of them along the inner wheel well. Once those bolts are removed, you really just grab the old fender and give it a pull. Chances are you're going to break a lot of the factory plastic clips that hold that fender onto the Jeep, but don't worry, you're not reusing those to get this set installed. After that, you can install this inner fender piece onto the fender of the Jeep, and then make all of your cuts and trims necessary for the inner fender liners and the fender support. After that, it's just a matter of installing the flare to the inner fender, and they get installed using the rivets that you see. Some of the other setups on the market have a visual rivet that isn't actually functional, but on these, the rivets that you see are actually the ones holding the fender flare onto the Jeep. The whole installation should take around 2 hours for the rears and probably closer to 3 for the fronts, because there is a little bit more trimming and cutting necessary. You won't need any specialty tools to get this job done, just a good socket set. However, you will need something to cut the plastic in order to get everything trimmed properly. You can just use a sharp razor knife to get everything trimmed, or a reciprocating saw will definitely speed things up. Like I said before, Bushwacker does make some of the top quality products on the market. And when you take it out of the box, you can really tell that from the way that it's molded, the quality of the material, the finish on everything, and the attention to detail. Providing pre-installed 3M tape for this inner fender, giving you stainless rivets instead of plastic ones or ones that are going to rust. These are all things that, in my opinion, make these worth the additional cost that you have to pay for them. But again, these are really expensive. You get a set of 2 fender flares from Bushwacker for roughly what it'll cost you to buy a set of 4 from some of the other companies. So if you have the budget for it and you're looking for something that's top quality, this is a really nice product. So if you like the look of a pocket style rivet flare and you want some additional tire coverage, I would definitely recommend taking a look at these. As we said, they're more expensive than a lot of other ones on the market, but the attention to detail and the build quality, in my opinion, make it worth it. So that's my review of the Bushwacker Pocket Flair Kit fitting all 2007 to 2016 JKs that you can find right here at ExtremeTerrain.com.